Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes and Happy New Year, Happy 2025. Now this is the forecast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers, and we're going to mostly focus today on the numbers side of things because the code for 2025 is so extraordinary, and I recently unearthed some really exciting mathematical frequencies that are really intense and incredible and show you why 2025, the middle year of the 2020s, is so vital, so important, and such a big shift year. Now, let me start with the fact that 5, the end, 2025, 5 is the pivot number. It sits on a rocker. It faces left and right. So it looks both to the past and the future and actually brings you to the present. But it is very flexible in that it is very open. It allows ideas to flow in. It's very receptive. And it is a number that seeks freedom. So in order to really explore that freedom in a way that is deep and meaningful, as opposed to dissipating energy and maybe running from one thing to the next without any kind of centering and taking the middle road, we have these incredible codes, and most of them are codes that are derived from squares. So in astrology, we have squares between planets or angles, and a square is a 90-degree angle, and 9 plus 0 reduces to 9. Now, 2025 in numerology is a 9 universal year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 is the final single digit from 1 through 9. And it's also considered the king of numbers because in mathematics, when you add a number to 9, like 6 plus 9 equals 15, and then you add the sum, in this case 15, 1 plus 5, it adds up to the same number that you added to 9. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So when you multiply a number by 9, so 6 times 9, which equals 63, the sum, in this case 63, 6 plus 3 equals 9. Any number you multiply by 9, you add the sum, it will always add up to 9. So this is why 9 is a magical number. And we have magical codes for this 9 universal year of 2025 that are even more extraordinary than usual. First of all, 2025 can express itself as a perfect square. 2025 is 45 times 45. You multiply 45 by itself, so 45 square equals 2025. Now 45, 4 plus 5 equals 9. So there is already a really incredible perfect square relationship to the actual year 2025. And then we have another square between the number 9 and 5. So 2025 is the product of two squares. So if you square the number 9, 9 times 9, which equals 81, and then you square the number 5, 5 times 5, which equals 25, and then you multiply those numbers with each other, 81 times 25, it equals 2025. Magical, right? So then when we add addition to the squares, we get even more magical outcomes. So 2025 is also the sum of all numbers that are single digit when they are added to each other and then squared. So let me just explain. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, and you square that sum, it equals 2025. Why is that? Well, the sum is 45. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals 45. and 45 is a 9. So you can see in the numerology and the mathematics, there is an incredible connection to the king of numbers, 9. Now, let me just say about that number 9, it does have a big head at the top. And that head is a head of wisdom when you live at the high vibrational end of this number, because it holds the wisdom of all the previous single digits, the experiences, the data, the info, the incredible resources of all those numbers are in that big head. So in our alphabet, we have a similar letter that indicates power, just like the number 9 does, and that is actually P, like the word power. So words that are nouns that describe careers or any work-related profession, like the word profession itself, denotes professions of power. So that would be president, prime minister, priest, preacher, pastor, principal, physician, philosopher, pharmacist, politician, patron, parent even. Parent can be, of course, a profession, very undervalued, but very important. Performer, philanthropist, peacekeeper, and somebody who is a professional. So professor also fits that. So we have this sense with the number 9 and the letter P as well, that there are certain symbols in our language and in our mathematics, our numbers, our frequencies, that show us a message, that give a message of empowerment or power. And this year, 2025, is one of those years because it's a 9 universal year. So here's another sum of some squares that I want to share with you. So if you multiply 40 times 40 plus 20 times 20 plus 5 times 5, the sum is 2025. So that's another interesting development for this year that we're in. And finally, this is really exciting. So remember how we added all the single digits and then squared them and they added up to 2025? So I want to do one final example that's actually not a square, it's a cube. So a cube would be 1 times 1 times 1 or 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 3 times that you multiply. And we're going to use the single digits again. And this time we're going to cube each single digit from 1 through 9. So 1 cubed plus 2 cubed plus 3 cubed plus 4 cubed all the way to 9 cubed. And you take those numbers and add them to each other. The result is 2025. You can see by these examples that when we have these sequences of 1 through 9, and they literally turn into the same year every time, and then we have the actual perfect square of 45 times 45, which is the number that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 adds up to. There's something very, very fascinating, amazing, magical, alchemical, galactic, out of this world that is going on. And it ties into the fact that this is truly a year to pay huge attention to, because not only in the numbers do we have this incredible code and sequence that's revealing something that's beyond comprehensible, but also in the planets. Because Pluto, a P planet, right before the year started, moved into Aquarius for the first time in almost 250 years. And the Aquarian age is beginning now. It's really coming into full force. This was in November. And it was while Pluto's sign, Scorpio, was active. The sun was in Scorpio when Pluto moved into Aquarius. And now we have the other remaining outer planets, all of them, from Neptune to Uranus to Saturn to Jupiter. In 2025, they follow Pluto's lead and all move into new signs as well. And in fact, Saturn will be conjunct Neptune as they segue from Pisces, the final sign, into Aries, the first sign. So that's a pivot. When we go from the 12th sign to the first sign, we're shifting dramatically as well, from endings to beginnings. So we are between 2025 and then 2026, which will be a new beginnings year because it adds up to 10 and 1. We are shifting in major ways from the ages, Piscean age to Aquarian age, from these incredible, complete set of outer, slow-moving planets all entering new signs. And Saturn and Neptune represent manifestation in reality versus spirituality and galactic consciousness. So Saturn conjunct Neptune as they move from Pisces to Aries together is all about manifesting spirit. Manifesting spirit. Saturn, reality, timing, chronos, responsibility, building blocks, and then Neptune, spirit, compassion, unconditional love. Right? One has no boundaries. Neptune, absolutely no boundaries. It is we are all one energy. And then the other is create boundaries, create a sense of order and grounding. So it's like the divine feminine and sacred masculine. They're joining forces and moving into the first sign together. So yes, these codes are incredible. They're exciting. They're very inspiring, and they indicate a major shift. And so if you have not watched my 11th annual 2025 Ultimate Yearly Forecast, this is the time to dive in. You can access it right away. Just go to 2025forecast.com. There's a short video you can watch about it. And we dive into not only the collective forecast, but your personal year in numerology and your astrology forecast for your sun sign, your moon sign, even your ascendant, which is your rising sign. And I have a brand new segment this year on the most fortunate investment days. So if you do any investing or you want to create a big launch where you're investing in your own business, there are a certain amount of days, not a lot, that are based on an incredible astrology code that you must know about. They're very, very special and they impact everyone. So it is for those of you who are entrepreneurs or those of you who are investors. Then I also have prosperity portal days, and these are days that are based on astrology and numerology both singing together, coming together at the same time to create a portal of abundance. And of course, my bonuses to you are an in-depth 2025 Astro-Numerology star code map, which is a wonderful guide. Every month I have written details on the main transits that you can literally have on your desktop and just know when to plan things and how the energy forecast is working in the galaxies, in the stars, and in the numbers for each month. There's a success map as well, and the Merlin Metatron collective channeling for 2025 and lots more. You can get instant access at 2025forecast.com. So enjoy that. And I hope you enjoyed this special edition of Star Codes where we focused on a literal frequency code for the whole year. So I'm wishing you a wonderful 2025, a wonderful week, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.